In early 2018, Miller began receiving rail service for a customer in Ann Arbor. The steel coils are brought in by rail and are stored inside Miller's main warehouse facility until they are then trucked the rest of the way to the customer. Miller is the proud owner of the former Michigan Central Railroad shops, which permanently closed as a repair facility in the mid-1970s. After a series of fires, Miller Trucking rebuilt most of the interior of the historic shop buildings that are now utilized as a warehouse and storage space for large equipment and machinery for its customers. We spoke with Dave Heins, Miller's vice president and general manager, to learn more about their business.
Miller Truck and Storage is a family-owned business owned by the Miller family. It was started by Leo Miller, and we incorporated in 1960. And as the buildings here at the old roundhouse became available, we'd purchase them, rebuild them, re-roof them, insulate them, and heat them. So this entire complex is now owned by Miller Truck and Storage and some real estate holding companies. But we do industrial contracting, machine removing, warehousing, distribution, some of which involves rail. We get material in by rail, we unload it and load it on trucks to deliver it to different customers. About 60% of our business is the rigging, and about 15% is trucking, 15% is warehousing. So it's spread out a little bit, but we've got a lot of exposure to the rail. We work with Norfolk Southern on many rail projects, and it's an asset to have it here in the yard, and warehouses work out very well for us. We initially rented these buildings from Conrail, one at a time. We started with one of the smaller warehouses, then got into the buildings as the railroad would leave them. We probably started getting buildings here in the late 60s. All the buildings here are for storage one way or another. The building that we're in now, the old maintenance away building, which was originally the old tender shop, is where the riggers work out of. And this is 58,000 square feet, and it's basically filled with customer machinery. We don't own any of the machines in here. They're all, people pay rent and store their machines in here. In Warehouse 5 next door, which was the Locomotive shop, we lease space to Consumers Energy. We have steel bars over there, steel plates, and some more machinery, but it's a mix of different materials. We had a fire here in Warehouse 5, July 1st of 1976, that burned the roof off, and that was the start. We redid the steel structure, we insulated it, we sheeted it, standing seam metal roof, and heated it. And that was the first building we did, and then after that we did the other buildings, and then we have since built 2 new buildings on this facility.
Warehouse number 5 is the former Michigan Central Railroad locomotive shop. It's also the same building where the unloaded steel coils are stored. Miller uses a trackmobile to move the cars into the building and utilizes overhead cranes to place the coils on the floor. This building was where the Michigan Central and later New York Central built and repaired steam locomotives for nearly 80 years. The other Michigan Central locomotive facility was at St. Thomas, Ontario, and is now a museum. These beautiful photos from Wayne State University show Jackson shops sometime in the early 1940s. In the spring of 1949, the shops closed temporarily because of a Toledo coal strike. They were supposed to reopen in July of that year, but due to industry change and the gradual transition from steam to diesel, it was decided that the shops would no longer be used as a steam locomotive facility. The remainder of the buildings in the yard were used for generalized repair and storage until Conrail leased and later sold the property to Miller in the late 1970s. We hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching Delay in Block Productions. Until next time, happy railroading.